And the action was taken. We completed our.
I need a motion to come off my board.
Oh, I need a motion to come out of.
Closed session.
Thank you, Rick. Second. We're out of closed session at 6 o'clock. The evaluation of the general manager for this year is completed, and we'll be working with him. Moving on to open session, public comment. At this point, anybody in the public who would like to speak to us? Now's the time. All right, hearing none, I'll take a role as the public. And as you know, my quotes, my father, when he was a board member, it was when he was a board member of Southern Kern Unified School District and Antelope Valley High School District. Because of the news relating to our colleges that's in the news today, and the philosophy that has permeated all of the top colleges right on down, I feel it's good to review this quote tonight. This is something he said 70 years ago. The greatest threat to America is not communist aggression. It is not a nuclear war. It's not an oil embargo. The greatest threat, and you hear lots of political leaders telling us what the greatest threat to our nation is today. Some say the greatest threat is who? Trump. Some say it's Biden. But the greatest threat to America is a public education system that has abandoned the biblical principles from which America was founded. The greatest threat to America is a public education system and a college system that has abandoned biblical principles of what America was founded. Thank you.
How long was he born?
Huh? I don't know. He was on different boards over the years. Voluntary public roll call. Anyone out there want to let us know you're there?
Yes, Byron. Go ahead.
Natalie Willis, representing High Good Store.
Good evening, ma'am. And I heard John.
Yes, I didn't mean to barge in, but John Joyce, representing the Roseman News.
Good evening, John.
Hi.
Moving on, the consent calendar, CC1, reviewing the checks and vouchers for mainly the month of December. I have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Director Webb. Second, Director Wallace. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to the approval of the minutes. M1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Regular minutes, Sewer Committee, Government Relations Committee, and the Finance Committee. And then there was one special board meeting. I have a motion for M1 through 5.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Director Webb.
Second.
Second, Director Wallace. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. New business. Consent to sell of tax defraud properties. Defaulted properties, not defrauded, but defaulted properties.
Thank you, Mr. President. We received a correspondence annually from the Kern County Treasurer and Tax Collector's Office related to the tax defaulted properties. They sent us a list of all the properties that are going to be up for sale, for tax sale. And what we do is we provide that list to our foreclosure attorney as it relates to the assessment districts 90-2 and 91-3 to find out if any of those properties are affected and get their opinion. Four of the properties are that are within that are up for sale are within the district. The opinion of the foreclosure foreclosure attorney is that this is a normal step. We may, if they get sold, we may see some proceeds come to the district as a result of the sale. So they recommend that we consent, and so the recommendation from staff and from our consultant is to approve the consent.
I have a question. The workout that we've established for all those that were going way back to the when we built that out there. This is a little different, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is actually because they defaulted on tax sales,
Not in that workout.
not in the workout.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They just happen to be four of them happen to be in the workout
Oh, okay.
also, and that's where we get the opinion.
When did they have that sale?
That's
Was it April, March?
March. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have the document.
And it's clearly your recommendation. We just go along with their.
We consent.
Right.
That it's okay to sell.
Are there any questions?
No.
Okay. Do we need a motion for
Yes.
that? Huh?
Yes.
May I have a motion for NB1?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, Director Wallace. Second, Director Webb. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. NB1 is carried. Boy, we're moving good here. Director's reports, comments, and future agenda items. General counsel, director's reports, future agenda, not future agenda items. Director Wallace, have anything to say? I know you're feeling beauty, but Director Webb?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. I just wish the district, the board here, and the community a good new year. Do things something good for yourself. Let's all be well. Let's all move forward. Thank you.
I don't know if you noticed in the paper, I actually thought he was still working out at the water bank for the company that was there, but Claude Field passed away.
Oh.
And I wanted to read, even though it'll take a minute or two, I wanted to read the obituary because he was one time a general manager here and did a lot of work for Boyle Engineering with us. And I wanted to read this.
He was a colleague of mine. So he was a colleague of mine. Yeah.
Claude W. Seal Jr. passed away because there's a couple things in here that I didn't know about him. And he wasn't somebody who told you a whole lot of stories. He passed away on January the 1st after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease at the age of 80. He was a dedicated, loving father to 4 children and grandchildren. Grandfather to 3. He was married to Vivian Field for 46 years. Claude was born and raised in Tulsa, Arizona, where he attended Catalina High School. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy after high school graduation and served aboard the USS Pickaway for 4 years on active duty during the Vietnam War. As a radar equipment foreman, Claude helped track and identify Soviet subs off the coast of the Philippines. After active duty, Claude enrolled in the civil engineering program at the University of Arizona at Tucson, where he met his future wife, Vivian. Claude worked as a civil engineer for almost 50 years in Arizona and Southern California, when Southern California was part of us. He specialized in concrete, soil, and designated water treatment plants, as well as water reclamation projects. Claude later joined the Naval Reserves and eventually retired as a lieutenant commander in 2003. Among Claude's many talents and interests was singing. I went and saw him sing in the choir that he did at the college. Acting, screenwriting, coaching his kids' sports, building furniture, gardening, traveling, and pursuing higher education and degrees. There was always room in the Seal home for a homeless animal. Claude is survived by his daughters, Margaret and Sarah, and his 2 sons, Eric and Nathan. The Seal family would like to thank Pasadena Highlands for their compassionate and dignified care that provided Claude over the last year. You know, so he was in a care facility over the last year. And I actually thought he was still out there at the water bank. But wanted to take a second or two to have silence and for Claude specifically and his family and his wife. I won't lose my job. I'm going to say amen. Okay. All right. General counsel update. Now, John.
Nothing, all that set up for nothing tonight, folks.
We appreciate you because your ear's there, and when we make a mistake, I know you'll tell us, hopefully.
Well, that doesn't happen very often, so.
General manager update.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to go through kind of just a status update on the projects, what we've done, what was done this past year as far as the capital projects, and then what the progress is in some of the projects. So I apologize for getting a little wordy here, but I thought it would be helpful to know, kind of pat ourselves on the back for some of the things that we've done this last year. The completed projects off of our capital projects list include the billing software upgrade, the crew trucks purchase, the IT computer tower replacement, the concrete saw purchase, the water meters purchase, the utilities to wastewater treatment plant shop building, the video van purchase, and the headworks level sensor replacement. Now, the projects that are going on, and you'll be seeing some action soon. The arsenic consolidation. I know you haven't heard about that one in a while. That project's being split into 2 phases. The first phase is expected to be ready for board approval in April. The wastewater treatment plant, we're still waiting for a resolution on the blower issue. We expect that notice of completion to be filed in April. Roseman Boulevard resurface, that's a county resurface project. We need to come in and lower utilities before they do that work. We expect the design package to be come to the board in March, so we can go out to bid before that happens. There's the water service replacement project, which you approved late last year. It's under design. We're expecting that to come to the board in April. The monitoring wells for the wastewater plant, the first 2 wells are under design. We expect that to come to the board in March for approval. And then the pond sludge mitigation, we have a study that's nearly complete and a recommendation to the staff and to the board in March.
We haven't been able to find any simple solution to that, have we?
No. Well, but there's 2 main solutions really that we're focusing on. One is a kind of a mitigate in place, and the other one's haul off. So, believe it or not, the haul off is starting to look a little more attractive. So we're just chasing that out before we have a recommendation. Because we really need to start having a plan to submit to the regional board at some time, pretty soon. Any questions on the?
I do have one, and I don't know which project it was. But you remember we were doing the break time on the company for the easement access? Was that for the wells that we were doing?
That's the arsenic consolidation. That's part of the reason why the project's being split into 2 phases.
Okay.
Is the first phase is going to be the ones that we already have all the right of way for all the pipelines. The second phase is the one that's lagging, and that's where all the easement work is being done.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's still going to kind of meet our timeline, or hope not our timeline. We're going to be able to get that done.
So the state really wants us to get it done.
Okay.
And we're trying to get it done in a timely manner. We're working with property owners who obviously have their opinion on what their easements are worth.
Yes.
So we're trying to work with that, but the state is very motivated to give us all the time we need to have success. So
okay, gotcha.
I do not anticipate an issue with timing.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
As far as the funding, maybe a funding risk.
Yeah.
Then the only other item I have to report on is that we're collecting information on district-owned properties for the Finance Committee, per the Finance Committee request, so we can consider them and provide a recommendation. And along with saying Happy New Year to everybody. That concludes my report.
All right. Any questions for the general manager? All right. Moving on, Director of Administration, Sherry.
Thank you, Mr. President. I reported last month that we mailed out 189 notices of impending shut-off to delinquent account holders, and we delivered 141 door hangers. Out of those, we wound up disconnecting service on 17 delinquent accounts today, and we had 4 broken payment arrangement customers that we disconnected service on yesterday. So I think that's quite good for having those numbers to start with and ending up with the smaller amounts.
They're gradually, we're never going to get down to,
No, but it's a big improvement.
Yeah. But we're talking over 5,000 connections, right?
Correct. Just to give you a year in review of 2023, we did finish the billing system conversion successfully, I might add, and we reopened the front office for business again, which was great. We opened, we call it move-in, 475 accounts. We closed, which we call move-outs, 429. So we had net new accounts of 46. I think we calculated that's roughly 1%.
Yeah, so if you want to consider is Roseman growing, you take the difference between those, and we have a net increase of about 1%. Right now. So, I mean, considering kind of the economic conditions that were happening this last year, that's actually not bad.
And on occasion, when I'm signing the reimbursement checks to the people that move away, it's always interesting to see where people are moving from Roseman to where they're moving.
Yes, it is.
And most of them, well, I would say probably half of them are moving out of state. The other half are just moving somewhere else in California. But it's kind of interesting to see where they're going.
We received and applied $4,927 in LEWA payments, which is the low income. We started putting the flyer with information with the shut-off notices several months ago, and I think that's helped. And the program is still in effect until March, so we're hoping more customers will take advantage of that need it. Year over year, number of delinquent accounts that are over 60 days past due declined by 619 accounts for a total dollar amount of $64,000. So people started paying, we got back into the shut-off process and really reduced those accounts receivables. And we do have total number of active customers is 5,386. FYI. Just a reminder about the blood drive will take place this month on the 25th, which is a Thursday, from noon to 6 p.m.
Did you get my name down?
I have your name. Yes,
Okay. John, you got your name down?
Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Well, I have a comment first of all. I think it's heads up. I know that that conversion was, you walked into that wall as soon as you got here. So congratulations to you and your staff on that. And I think the fact we're making the information available, helping people get their bills kind of done. I know even though we think it may be easy, we don't know the dynamics of all the families, but it sounds like we're starting to see a little bit of daylight. And that's good for them, and it's also good for us. So thank you for the effort on that one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the Director of Administration? Public Works, John House.
So, being together in the year, we got some new regulations that came down from the EPA, which is a new lead and copper rule, where we're having to go out and identify the service line from the meter to the house to see what type of material it's made out of. We're starting this program so that if you have lead and copper piping, there's going to be a grant set up for people that need to change out, but they definitely are spending hard on the lead and copper rule as far as what the district has to do. We never went on property before, and now we'll have to do the inventory. So we got roughly 500 or 600 homes that meet the criteria of the timeline when they were used.
And that would be yours.
And the Public Works Department has started on Monday doing the inventory of this. So we'll be good and ready for the due date of October to have the stuff completed.
So, John, question about that too, Mike. So, we'll identify it, the grant will be available, then the homeowner applies for the grant, and they give the money to us to make the swap out.
I believe it's going to be straight to the homeowner, that we just have to identify the problem and notify them.
So who's going to do the repair? They have to call a plumber or somebody to do the repair?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Or some people can do it themselves.
Oh, okay.
It's running the service line or something, but
They don't want you to have copper?
pardon me?
They don't want you to have copper? It depends on the year that the copper was made.
Oh, okay. Mixed in with
So the homes that were targeted are pre-year 1984. So pre-1984, the it's all related to the lead. So,
Okay.
and you want to know where this is all coming from? It's all coming from what happened in Flint.
Yeah.
From the lead poisoning that happened in Flint, because of the change of the water source.
Well, I'm just really concerned because they just redid my house in copper.
But new copper.
Yes,
Yes.
it's fine.
Yes. Yes.
That was really my question. How much right do the homeowners say, I'm not gonna do it?
It's a big,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what the repercussion is for that, but the state is making sure that we notify you that you have a problem.
That's our responsibility.
Yes.
But we're not responsible for following up to see that it's done at this point.
I'm not sure how far this is going to go. Right now, we're just collecting the inventory to see how many that are out there. And then I'm sure there's going to be some follow-up behind it.
When I moved in my house, it had galvanized, and it wasn't a year old. And that galvanized 3/4, you couldn't put your finger through it.
Yeah.
It was bad.
So I can bring out the next meeting. I can bring you up one of our sheets that we go out to use to identify this. You have to identify it as galvanized, copper, plastic, whatever the material is. You have to mark it on each and every house that you inspect, and then turn it into the state.
And the grant by the state?
Via email menu, this was coming, but I got reminded early this week, and I asked John about it. Hey, when are we going to do this inventory? And they were already on it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware that John and his staff are ahead of the game.
Did they pay the district for doing that?
Yeah, did they fund the?
No, they do not.
No, they did not.
They do not do that.
So that's another example of regulation costing the district money every time they.
And on another note, the wastewater treatment plant, the percolation, we got 114 acre feet of water now that's percolated in 2023. So it's still pretty good.
114 or more? Or like 1,000?
What's that?
Isn't it like 1,000?
With a 10% leak behind, yeah. So I have the numbers right here.
This is for the whole year.
Yeah, you said 114.
Since we started.
Oh, okay, so 114 since we started, it's only 1 month, so it's 13 months.
Oh, okay.
13 months, yeah.
So 1,000 is a very safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering we used 2,200 or so. Yeah, we used 2,200 acre feet of water is what we pumped this year. So, got nearly half of it back just by percolating.
Yeah.
We would have never gotten that before.
Now, is Lahontan interested in that number from us, or are they more interested in the water samples around?
They get that number. They get that number.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not interested in the credit for groundwater and
Yeah.
everything. They're interested on how much water that actually went into the ground. Though.
Yeah. Okay. Question about the video trucks.
Yeah.
Describe to me how that actually. I was looking at the picture and I was trying to visualize how it works. How do the guys actually do that, and what goes on in that truck?
So that's inside the truck. It's all the camera is a robot per se,
Okay.
and it has a cable that runs this robot, and they run it from inside the van like a video game.
Oh, okay.
What makes it turn, think, we don't have any issues in our sewer as far as backup. We have some issues now with that video camera showing that we have pipes that are, needing to be either lined or replaced. So that kind of, we didn't know that before. We keep our sewers clean so the water keeps running, but now that we got that dam, we can see that there are some areas, even though the water's running, the pipe is needing to be repaired.
At the AVAC meeting last night, the board heard some problems that are in a section of the pipe for AVAC
On the west feeder.
on the west feeder, and I guess I could kind of say that they weren't happy about that, but he said we've got to fix it, and it's at the bottom of the pipe is where it's blowing out, and so
That's when we flood pressure to that old line.
yeah, they're going to have to replace probably about a 4-mile section is what they're looking at.
Yeah. I got their call the other day when the water was running down the road on Gasco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my brother works for AVAC, so I called him and said, hey, you guys got a problem.
Yeah. Any questions for Public Works Manager? All right. We're at adjournment. Anything else anyone that wants to say before we adjourn? Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Make a motion. Wallace, motion to adjourn. Second, Director Webb. We are adjourned at, somebody got the time?
6:26.
6:26. Thank you.
Yes, sir.